Hello, everyone, and welcome to Back to School Safety September. I am Jason Perry, the founder and CEO of Trident Shield. And Back to School Safety September is basically a safety video that we'll put out helping schools, parents, kids be safer as they go back to school this year. So today's video is basically called Be a Good Shepherd, Know Who's in Your Backyard, right? So as we go back to school, particularly parents, but also organizations, right? You don't know who has moved in since you've been gone. Now, a lot of schools, with sex offenders, a lot of our states or our cities are on the ball and will notify and do a great job policing this and keeping sex offenders from your campus or from your kids' parents. But unfortunately, no one cares about your kids or your school or your campus as much as you do. And government fails all the time. So you're responsible for this. So one of the tools that I use, and I use it daily in my life, is called familywatchdog.us. And I'm going to show you what that tool is right now and give you an example of how I use it and how I recommend how you guys would use it, okay? So I'm going to pull it up here. And again, one of the problems with this with free programs is it can be spammy with a lot of, I'm going to swap this over here so you guys can see it better than me. You can see my face. So it can be a little spammy with advertising and all that stuff, but don't let that dissuade you. So this here is Memphis or parts of Memphis. And the more I go out, the more horrible it looks. Memphis is not a safe city by any standards. Every one of those colors is a sex offender. Okay. These are just one type of bad guys that we have to deal with. Okay. There, murderers aren't on here, gangbangers aren't on here, drug dealers aren't on here, domestic abusers aren't on, just sex offenders. But sex offenders can be very problematic. And the code or the legend for this is you go down here and you see school. It looks like this, and you're going to see a bunch of schools, and it's going to freak you out because you're going to see a bunch of sex offenders way near and within 1,000 feet of some schools. And the ones I want you got parents in schools to think about is offender home for offense against child or offender other. That could be work or someplace where they spend time. Okay. And then if you look at the yellow and the orange, that's rape offender home and others. So as we scroll back up, one, look at these two schools here. Okay, 1, 2 schools here, and you got a bunch of that. Look at all the red, all the offenses against children here within this. Now, the great thing about this program is you can zoom in, and I'm going to pull over here, and and again, do this with your own thing. I just chose Memphis. I didn't put an address in there. I just put Memphis. This is where it centered it. But as you can see here is a school, and this school is Grizzlies Academy. I don't know anything about it, but one of the things you're going to see here is once I click away all the spam stuff, is Grizzlies Academy. All right, closest offender is 0.03 miles away. Number of offenders within 1,000 feet is 11. 11. Okay. And then the great thing about this program is it lists them. So you've got Calvin Durbin Russell here, who's 163 feet from this. And the great thing about this program I'm about to show you is it pulls them up and shows you a picture of them. Right? It shows you a picture up of them. It shows you where they live. And the great thing here is you can pull down, you can look at charges, child solicitation and child exploitation. Okay. So this is just one example, right? Of that, right? So then we go back and then, you can go in here and pull up the next one, right? And we're going to scroll down again as we get through all this spam and stuff here. I'm going to get rid of this. And then you go to Lee. Let's check out what Lee's got. So there's Lee. He's 6'1", 353 pounds. And let's see what his charges are. Sexual battery. Okay. Now again, the great thing about the charges is it's going to tell you if you're dealing with somebody who was 18 and they dated a 16-year-old, or you're going to see if they're, a monster, right? But again, if you can put your school in here. Now, as I do this, I'm not sure. You can add your private school to this registry and it will give you warnings. It's a free program. A lot of you're going to find is public schools. A lot of your newer schools might not be in it, but you can add them. It's a great bonus with this program. And what I would do, okay, and I'm just going to kill this off now, is when I'm using this program, I print off a picture of every sex offender within a certain radius of my address. And that is in a binder at my house. And that way my wife knows what these people look like. My kids know what these people look like. And if they show up interacting with my kids, or they show, I know to report them, one. Two, my kids know not to trust them or do anything with them, right? And three, it just gives me peace of mind knowing who the bag. Now, not everyone's going to be in there. Some are going to fall through the cracks, but just being informed matters. Now, as a school, you want to know, particularly with your playground and pick up and drop off and watching this, you want to be familiar with the sex offenders in here to see if anyone's stalking your kids and looking for kids who walk home alone or waiting to see if anybody's vulnerable. Again, I would have my school safety officer and your chaperone perimeter, your pickup drop-off people, they should have a binder with every single sex offender in that so that they can familiarize themselves. And if they start seeing them around the school, they need to notify authorities, okay? One of the other ways I use this program is I also use it for trick-or-treating, which is coming up next month. And if I'm going to go to a neighborhood and go trick-or-treating, if you're into that, I'm not. We'll be celebrating Reformation Day in this house. But for those of you who do, make sure you go. And by most state laws, they're not allowed, sex offenders are not allowed to give out candy or turn their lights on. All right, to accept guests, trick-or-treaters. So again, avoid that. All right. And if you live in an apartment complex or in a neighborhood with a lot of high turnover, you should be doing this at least once a month, or you can just subscribe for free, put your address in there, and they'll send you alerts when a sex offender moves into your neighborhood. So that's all I have for you today. I hope you found this useful. Please, please, please help us save lives. Right? Help us save lives and innocence as well as souls, and share this video every way you can.